everybody online. How about Shabbat Shalom to the brothers? Shema to the sisters. Friday night class, Hebrew. Uh, well, and I'd like some questions in the chat, right? Um, being that I want to focus on where your mind is at, right? Okay. So of course we start off with the Hebrew alphabet until somebody can provide a better topic than the one that I have. Right? A lot of people say they want the basics. There's many parts of the basics. And I want you to provide a question in the chat, right in the chat, your side over there, so that I can properly aid you in, the things that is missing from you in being a staunch, straight up Hebrew speaker. And that's the goal, right? So, quick synopsis. There was a man one time called Nehemiah. And in the book of Nehemiah, he said that the children of Israel spake half Hebrew and half the language of their captivators, right? Or their oppressors, right? Their captors, right? And he was, a man of the Lord, upset at the fact that Israelites only spake half Hebrew, some words in Hebrew, and that they speak the rest in the language of their oppressors in the land of their oppressors. All right. And the goal that is given by the task of this class from its inception is to return the language back to our people. So, Hebrew alphabet, so many of you have seen this before, right? What I want to do is I want to say the letters, what they are, right? And the sounds of them, all right? So we know that this is A from Allah, say a cow's head. This is Ba from Bayat, to say a tent. This is Ga from Gamal, and this is supposed to be the top of the camel. This is Da from Dalat, to say a door of a tent. This is Ha from Hana, to say, behold, look at this. Okay? This is Wa from wow, and that's supposed to be a fish hook. This is Za from Zion, to say a weapon, like a boomerang. This is Ka from Kawama, to be a fence. This is Ta from Tana'a, to be the bottom of a basket. This is Ya from Yad, to say your hand. And in your joint is showing you what part of your hand it is. Right? And after that, you have Kap. You have Ka, to say cup, which is the palm of your hand, which is this part of your hand, with the alignments in it, all right? Just on paint, I see you, sis. Bruce Kareem. Hey, shalom, Bruce Kareem. Right? Yahweh, Ba'ashib Shai, Brokatha. Come on. Okay? After Kap and the Ka is La for Lamad. The view is kind of going a bit. There we go. We got La for Lamad, and that is to say learn. Ma from Mayam, to say water. We got Na from Nawan, to say sprout. Sa from Samak, to say establish. We got I from Ayan, which is your eye, your physical eye, right? We got pa from pa, which is mouth. By the way, that same pa, the word pa also became the word to say here. Right? There's phrases that you see in that service in the Bible where same pa is a way to say here. Right? You got one way to say, you'll say, here I am. It's different than saying here. Okay. Okay. Oh, but the reason why I said here I am is because Esau he had a phrase, and it said Hananiah. I'm not sure if you read it before. Right? Hananiah. And this right here is it can be difficult to remember. If you make it difficult to remember, you want to think of how you know things around your way. Oh, what's going on here? There we go. There we go. Right. So with the way you learn things around your way, if you hear somebody say a word, you hear somebody say a phrase, I hear people saying crashing up. I just found out what crashing up meant like last week. I asked Bayani Allah what crashing up means because the term came up like literally a couple months ago. Everybody's saying it, and I'm like, crashing up, what does that mean? Crashing up. Right? I think it means when you get upset. In other words, you wild. That's what we used to say. You say you wild, you bugging. And now there's, somebody's gonna have another one. Now you're crashing out. You know what I mean? Just like that, So there's a phrase for it to remember, right? Ha, nan, ya. And this phrase says, here I am. Here I am. Right, that's what a phrase means. Ananya. It means here I am. Right? Breakdown of this. Saying here is to say here, like here, like I'm right here. Look at me right here, right? And that word properly translated from behold, right? And that word, I hope I'm not making it too complicated for you, right? Let me erase the behold so you don't get confused, right? But it's the same word that is where the sound ha comes from, which is hana, right? Ha-na, right? And then you got the I am. The I am is anya. 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 Like that. Anya. Right? And then Hana is ha, na, ha. Hana. Okay. And you bring these two together. Bring these two together, and you bring this over here, right? Ha. You say this na right here. You have na. You get that na right here. And you get that ya right here. Ha, nan, ya. So you're dropping the sound of the ha because this language is built from the verb, right? So the speaking came before the writing. So remember that, right? The speaking came before the writing. Okay. I'm gonna give you another Let me finish this first, and then I want to get another instance of putting things together like this. Maybe we should have a class of putting things together like this. Jeremiah Hyman's name is like this, right? Jeremiah Hyman's name is like. I'll break down Jeremiah Hyman's name in a minute, right? Okay. We did the par last time. Taza for tazad, which is side, right? It's rumored the English word side is from the word tazad, right? Okay. Side, on your side, like on your side. So this is a picture of a man lying down on his side, all right? It's also rumored that the English word is you just had a T in front of the word side. Come closer, right there. There we go. Yeah, this camera's out of here, man. That's it. Kwa is from Kwam, to say rise, the figure of the sunrise. Ra is for Ra'ash, to say head, right? Sha is from Shun, to say teeth. And Ta is from Thou, which means mark. Okay? The Lashawan Qadash. In English, you read from left to right, but in Hebrew, we write from right. We write from the right to the left. You see what I'm saying? So when we read in English, you might start here, and you might read it across. But in Hebrew, we start from the right. We start from right here, and we read it this way. Okay. By the way, this sheet right here has been stolen by many people, and what they do is they cut off the title at the top, and then they teach us at their own. Right? Yeah. Our officer sketch also has to the top. They cut it off and they reprint it. The officer's test. You see what I'm saying? Like their own. And fake is like loops. All right. That's a real thing. It's not a joke. Because it's the home of the truth. Okay.
If I may, sir.
Yeah.
We're fishing from the sea. They fishing from our basket.
Yeah. I mean, I heard it before.
You probably seen the meme. It's a meme. It's like a picture. They show you somebody fishing in the sea.
Right.
They show you somebody else fishing in the basket that they fishing from.
Right. It could be fun, man. I've seen people do that in real life. Well, not seen them, but people do stuff like that in Jamaica. You fish from the sea, and there's a guy saying, I'm going to steal from his, they call it a pot, the big net. Yeah. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's get Jeremiah Hyman's name. So, of course, his rank is general. General in Hebrew is La Wak. Wak is how you say the word general. I could break down the ranks too. It's not a bad idea. I'll put rank right here. Rank is Idar. Okay. I know that from the other day we was breaking down how the words even came together. I'm thinking of this Idar right here. I'm thinking I, Da, and Ra. Idar. Idar, Ayatazar. Idar. I, Da, Ra. What do you think? What do you think? Oh, I know the head man got the head right. You know what I mean? You know, I know the man above everybody else. He watches over everybody else. Scripture about the man who watches over your souls. I'm trying to think of the door. I don't know what you think about the door yet.
It's the vision,
The vision. Okay.
sight, having the sight. Get you through the door, being in the head.
You think you talking about prophecy?
We see vision, we see passage, door,
He leads them to the door.
door.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. So the headman. I don't know. I don't know the order here. But I'm thinking, just like Yesterday said, I'm thinking the marching ranks. Because when Moses created ranks, right? You know, it was in the most military fashion. I believe it was in Deuteronomy, right? Deuteronomy chapter 1. I don't know if you can get the scripture, right? Where the Israelites created military. Before the Israelites, men just went to war like barbarians. Just grab a stick or the Ethiopians would grab a spear and they just go hunt like a bunch of hyenas in the wilderness of Africa. You see what I'm saying? But then Moses, he created military ranks. You see what I'm saying? There was no sign that the Egyptians even had military ranks before the Israelites. You know what I mean? I've never even read about this. It could be my personal flaw in history, but I've never read about the Egyptians moving out in a unit. They roll out like in a crowd. They could roll out in groups, but I've never come across the Egyptians, moving in units. You know what I mean? Up until Moses. Moses led the Egyptians against the war against the Ethiopians and won. Right, But being that it was not for the Lord's work, it's not. I don't think you read about it. You're not going to. It's not been mentioned in the Bible because it's not for the Lord. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things you may do or I might do that is not the Lord's work. So it wouldn't get no mention. Other than outside of your personal family, he'll say, "Oh yeah, I knew him, man. He was a carpenter." You know what I mean? This was his slavery. You know what I mean? Outside of Christ. You know what I mean? Because he has witnesses detailing things. There's a scripture right here.
Major.
Yeah.
But like the scripture kind of give us guidance. Wise men, knowing.
Yeah. They know in the gates. What is the door? No. Okay. So it says. So this is Deuteronomy what? 1 and what? 15. I know. You got a little course, right? It says Deuteronomy 1 and 15. So I took the chief of your tribes. This will be the head. Wise men and know. Because that could be the eye part. People see you. Could be. Yeah, because the wise men, people see you. They see you. They know you. Be famous. And he made them heads over you, captains over thousands, captains over hundreds, and captains over 50. and captains over tents and officers among your tribes. Right? So that's the scripture that seems very fitting to this. I can't say this came from that because, of course, the language is from Adam. But this scripture is very fitting to the lifestyle that this word embodies. Okay, the highest ranking man. The calculation always seems, better when I go from the back to the front. Okay? The highest ranking man leads you out through,
or leads you with wisdom.
through the hold on the ranking man. They lead you through something. Not through means through, right? He leads you through, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure. They lead you through. If I go backwards, then I'm putting the head at the back. I can't get it like that. Lead you through away, leads the men through, right? So who goes through first? Highest ranking man. I mean, and then the man behind him goes through the door after him, and the man behind him goes through the door after him. It's done in rank order, going through this pathway, right? And then I guess people see it. People see it, and people have to respect it. These are wise men, and they are known. People see him. All right, good. Moving on. General Alawak, right? We know that the word Alawak comes from the word cow. Cow became thousands. The generals, just like the scripture right here, the generals became heads over thousands of people. Okay? Right? Cows were a thing that Jacob was easily able to multiply cows to thousands. All right? Right? Now let's get General Mahayan. Mahayaman. Mahayaman. Okay? Ma Haya Ha Ya Man. Ma Haya Man. Okay? For a long time, we didn't know what this meant or where it came from. And then Jeremiah gave us the clue in a biblical name called He-Man. Right? He-Man. And this He-Man is the basis of this part that is after the mark. So He-Man translates to the higher man. Right? And this He-Man, right, in Hebrew is Haya Ha-ya Man. Haya Man. If you can look up He-Man in the scriptures over there, right? There's a man called He-Man, and He-Man is this, right? Haya plus Man. Okay. By the way, the word Mahayaman, Jeremiah Mahayaman's name, it means trustworthy, right? Trustworthy. And that's the real life definition from the Strong's. And this name does not mean the breakdown of the name, right? Is defined as trustworthy, even though this is not the word trust or the word worth. Right? Our culture don't work like that. Right? Our culture is very descriptive and putting things together. I want to move this over so I can get more space. Not, confuse everybody. Right? Okay. 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 Hiya, man. This right here is not a letter. This I'm writing a plus sign right there. Okay, good. Hiya, man. Hiya means be. Aman is faith. Okay. The ma, right? Ma in the front of General Muhammad's name, the ma means of. Okay. If anybody online wants to take a picture of that very quick, go ahead. Because it will be going very, very soon. Only if I can move you down a bit here. I want to put the Hebrew there. Haya, Haya, Aman. Right? Haya. I put Haya right here, right? Right. Ha, ya, ha, ya, ha, ya. And we have man. Stuck it. Man. Okay. And this is to say be. And this is to say faith. And then put them together. Oh, that's it right here. It's together up here. Okay. Okay. You got the scripture with him, man? Okay. Let me see the book, sure. Hey, show more class, sir. Officer Mother Marshall says, what's going on, other one? Okay. Sister Ashley. Big up Sister Ashley, right? Who else is here? Delvario. The Bible from South Carolina. Hey, Shalom, all right? How about Shino Shai Barakathon? I meant the Vario. The Vario. Any question you have in Hebrew? This is the place for it right here. I don't want questions. I want questions. Quick word. Sound. Sound is qual. Qual. Right? Qual. Okay. The word for wind is the word for, it's the same word similar to the word spirit. Spirit is rakah, wind is rawak. All right? Rawak. Okay. We got a scripture for Heman? Yeah, I did both. Sure. This is
1 Kings 4.
okay, 1 Kings 4:31. If you can see the scripture right here, where it says Wa Hayaman. Right? That word right there is the base part of General Muhammad's name before the Ma is added to the complex compound of a name, all right? Wa at the beginning means and, so of course we read it from right to the left. So we're looking at the word in this blue box right here, right? The first Hebrew letter there. I'm saying letter. It's really characters, but for your sake, for your understanding, we're gonna say letter. The first letter means and, right? And then the rest of that is the name. So of course in Hebrew, we have something that we call prepositions. Prepositions are all of your ands, your the, and, in, right? He, she, those are prepositions, meaning they go right on to the front of the word. Okay? And Hayaman. Hayaman is He-Man, right? And we got the breakdown of the He-Man. We can bring it back to the board bubble shot. Right? The He-Man in the Hebrew, Haya-man. Haya-man. And the breakdown of that is Haya and Aman. Right? Where did I get this from? Your concordance. Okay? Haya and Aman, Haya and Aman. Be faith. A man of faith is trustworthy. His yeas is his yeas, and his nays is his nays. You see what I'm saying? Okay, right? Good. No questions online. The Vario got no questions. All right, anybody got no questions? Just Ashley, something you want to teach the kids, something might have in your mind. Everybody got questions in the week and last week, and the week before last week. But then when it's time for class, you forgot it. You forgot your question. You know what I mean? You gotta write those questions down. You gotta write them down. You know what I mean? You're a part of this school too. You're a part of this body. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You're a part of this family. Okay. Don't be the job. Be the only place where you have questions and concerns that you're putting into the anonymous monthly corporate chat where you want to report your supervisors. You know what I mean? They to do that more old slavery. Every 3 months or so, they see from the computer to make an anonymous review or complaint about anything that you see is not right in your slavery. Okay? Right? Good. Wait 1 second, y'all.
How about the word kaya?
Right. Kaya with a cup. Yeah. Cup. I can also say is a lot of these things, these words, the lifestyle of the Israelites is not really all about bloody warfare. Right? But the bloody warfare is what happens when you come in contact with heathens. I mean, or when there's a discrepancy amongst them. But for the most part, everything is about maintaining peace and preserving life. War is about preserving life. Okay, something that is very much needed. And a peaceful life is you having your own agriculture. Right? Okay. We have ya, right? Ya. And this word chaya means life. I'm talking about in all forms. In Hebrew, are you alive? With chaya. He's very lively, chaya. You see what I'm saying? This party is lit. Everybody in this party is active. Active chaya. You want to think of that thing that is about life. Life, something moving. You're breathing, your chest going up and down. You're moving. Life. When the Egyptians said, I want to check on this too. When the Egyptians said to were reporting about the midwives who would not kill the boys in Egypt, he said that the Hebrew women are not like us, for they are very lively. You know what I mean? In other words, you Black and Latino sisters, you guys are loud and you guys scream and fuss and fight. You see what I'm saying? When you disagree with something, other people will be like, Black and Latino woman, cuss you out. You see what I'm saying? The Hebrew women are lively. Okay, let's see if we can see what scripture that was very quick. Hebrew woman, Hebrew lively. Exodus 1:19. Okay, let's check that one right quick. Exodus 1:19. Yeah. So we put it up on onto your computer screen. Waya Amarath. Let's look here. Wa sa Amarathan. Right? Ha Mayalada al Parai. So there you go. Pharaoh's Parai, right? Kaya's other four that I thought about when you said that. Kaya with a ka, I'm writing it backwards. I am writing it backwards. Kaya. This kaya is 4. Just a sidebar so I don't forget and go on, right? You're right. Yeah, this is 4 him. Or this is for this and for that, kaya, right? With the K, right? With the K, right? Okay. La'a, kanashtium, right? That nashtium, that ka, so we can put that highlight that part right quick, right? It says like woman, right? Like is an simile, not like as in particularly like it anybody, right? Going to highlight that part, right? Not, right? It said ka nash ya, right? Ka nashya, right? That nash, that nas right here, right, is woman. Well, is to say woman. Well, together with that right here. Usually, I want to get ahead of myself, but it's a key thing where singular, a man is ayash. Plural, a man is not ayash young. You don't see ayash young nowhere in the Bible as ayash young. I've never come across it. Every instance I found is singular man is ayash. Plural man is adash young. Right? Right? Singular woman is either it was first ayasha to say ayash sha'a taken out of man. Sha'a say lifted up or taken, right? Lifted up. And then ayash is man. That's how the word for woman first came. Ayasha to say taken out of man. Right? From this is from the strong, right? And then Ayasha became Asha. Ayasha. Right? Like that. Asha. Right? And then from Asha will be singular. And then as you have here, Nash Yum is woman plural. Right? So Nashyam, woman. Nashyam, woman. I'm gonna get into detail in this in a little second. And this car right here, this simple car right here, is how we say like. Like. Right? Car. At the beginning of the word, like, just car. They say it's like this, or they did it like that. This is not the like as in, I like this drink. It's not that like. This is the like as in, that chair is like a tree. Or this wall is like sandpaper, like that. Or this board is like, this board is like the white of the moon. It's like that. It's like that. Like that. All right? Okay, good. All right. Just the scripture again, it's like it was the Hebrew woman. Yeah, there you go. So we have the Ha Matazariya, right? That's to say Hebrew woman, feminine. Matazariya, right? Matazariyum is the Egyptians. That's the name of the Mizraimites. Matazariyum. Matazar in itself means bondage. Bondage, what's that? Slavery, right? To be put in jail where you can't get out. That's your life in America. You're here in America, you're born here, and you have no way how to get out of here. As a people, doesn't mean that you can't get on a plane and fly to Bahrain. Of course, you can fly to Bahrain, but according to your passport, you got to be back in 90 days, or you can lose your traveling privileges per the rule of the United States passport. Okay. As a people, you can't all get up and just go to another country. The planes won't allow it. The ships won't allow it. The borders are not going to allow it. They're not going to. It's going to be like a national emergency. Hey, influx and crowds of black Americans and are all leaving the country at once. It'll be the news. It'll be like, what's going on? Something's wrong here. Stop them. For the sake of they're going to say we need it to be essential workers. They got to get back to work because you are in Egypt. You see what I'm saying? You're in Egypt. 100 men fly and go to Ghana. They say they moved to Ghana. That's cool. 100 men get up and say they're moving to. It's just Ghana. And that's 100 men. But that's not the population. The population, when they get to do something, is a problem. Now it's something to infiltrate and try to get them to change their mind somehow. Right, good. That's matazar. Matazar is bondage. Right, good. The next word after that, ha, ibar, ya. Right? Now, for the Hebrews, the phrase that comes up is ibar, ya. Ibar is the to say the past, right? Is the past, like what happened in the past, meaning a long time ago. Not past like pass over this river. I've heard some Israelites teach that it means pass, like we're gonna pass by. No. This is past, like where there's the future over there, and the past. Ibar is the past that you're looking at right there. That's the word that makes up the basis of the word Hebrew. Ibar ya is the Hebrew woman. Ibar ya. Okay? So you can see that thing right there with the ya. Write that down on the board. Right? The ya. The ya is to say feminine. Feminine. Okay? Good. Next, we got that kaya right there. Is this thing kaya right here? Okay? Kaya wa. That kaya wa is from this kaya right here. You got the right after each other. Kaya, kaya. Mind this kaya is with a K. So you got the real ka like cake. Right? Cake. What are the K words? I don't know any K words. Kick, kettle, you know, the kettle. You know what I mean? But this one right here, this ka right here is pronounced more like a harsh H, according to the books. So this ka in kaya is more like with your throat. Ha. Like you're gonna you're trying to get the phlegm out of your neck. Ha. Right? Kaya. But of course, don't do it to hurt yourself. This is your language, this is your tongue. Do it way that's comfortable for you. If you find a way to say it comfortably, and I'm saying like that so that you can say it. If you find a way to do it comfortably, you will say it like a ha. If you make it seem like it's hard, you're gonna pronounce this like this. You're just gonna say kaya, life, the one that's life, kaya. I'm gonna be asking which kaya you're talking about. And then when you really get into your language, your tongue, right, where the word language comes from, right? Yes, I'll tell you many times about how the word language in English comes from the French word langue, right? Langue, right, which is the French word for tongue. English is born out of French, right? You know, there was no English. The English didn't exist until 1066 when the men from the Battle of Normandy from France came and conquered England. They came from the south of England and wore their way up. And when that French came to England, it mixed with these other languages, these Germanic languages, I believe, that was up in England already. And that is where you get the word, that is where you get the mixing of these words to have English. Example, English, cow, French, beef. All right. English, chicken, French, poultry. Right? English, goats, French, mutton. That's the meat. Right? What's the other one? I believe it's English, sheep, French, lamb. How you say lamb in French?
The mutton is lamb.
Mutton is lamb.
Goat is cabri.
Okay, cabri. But I know in English they call it meat, mutton. They call it the goat meat, look, mutton. Is there no lamb? Lamb, sheep? Lamb, sheep.
Mouton.
Okay. No lamb. No lamb at all. Okay, I gotta check the books on that. Right, but I know you got sheep, the animal, and then you got lamb, the meat. Because the French, I don't know what's going on. The French was cooking it up, man. You know what I mean? They got a lot of Judettes. When we look in the history, look at a lot of the Judettes from France and Germany. You know what I mean? You gotta check your last names too. Them last names is not, it didn't go down like how the oppressor said. The books don't say what the oppressor said. The oppressor said, you got your own from Africa. It's a lie. Yes, that's a straight lie. Some of us were from Africa, and the bulk of the Africans slaves, I believe it was 95% of the African slaves went to South America, right? And then the rest in North America came from somewhere else, and they don't even say, they just say Africa. They just say Africa, but you know, the books will say Oliver Cromwell got everybody on ships from Europe and sent them to the Americans. Had them meet. The ship from Europe met at the west coast of Africa to pick up more slaves from Africa and sent them together from the island, from the shipping port in the ocean called the island of Sandstone. It was like a distribution point. Okay?
I'm shared gold, sir.
So
I gave it to you in Creole,
oh,
but it's shared in French.
chef. Okay,
I
okay.
read this Creole.
Okay, chef. Okay, two water. Okay. Mm-hmm. Good. Right. So the Hebrew women are lively. Kaya wa. Kaya wa. Kaya is the word. We got the wa on there. Probably again refer to the female aspect of it. And I'm saying that because you got malak to say king, malakwa, not to say queen, but to say kingdom, because the malakwa serves the malak. The kingdom serves the king. All right. So queen in Hebrew, by the way, is malakah. Israelites never had queens. There was no queens in our culture ever. Okay. I believe the one queen we had was Jezebel. She was a heathen. Okay. Esther was the queen of Babylon. You know what I mean? But she was an Israelite queen. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that job was to save her race so that we could in the future have a king. You know what I mean? God, but that was a good point. Man. God. All right. Kaya's life, good, all right? I'm gonna just write that on the board right quick. Kaya wa. All right? Kaya. Did I provide myself with enough space? I don't know. Kaya wa. Kaya wa. Lively. Lively. Active. That's what happens when your church, your Christian church, tells you sisters to disobey God and to do something disgraceful to God, which is to marry outside of your race. And when you do that, you marry some oppressor, and he can't understand why when you argue, you get so, how they call it? I don't know what they call it. Yeah, right. To us it's normal. So but to him, it's like you are scared. You're like a thing. That's why he always shoot his sisters. The person, you know, there's tons of other videos of where he strangles some sister to death, or he go, drive her off in the car into a river. What are your sisters doing to these sisters? He's burying them in the woods. Sisters are going missing because sisters are getting with interracial couples. They interracial coupling, and then you got, I think every 5 years, they say every 5 years, 60,000 black women go missing. Okay, 60,000. That's a real number. It's not a joke. Just look it up. Just Google your phone. 60,000 black women missing. Where are they? Just look at that, right? Okay, good. What's next? Any questions online? The family is not asking no questions online. What's going on, family? There's family, all right? Questions for Hebrew, something you want to know. Hoping my sound is too complicated. Some brothers made a comment on my class the other day. Not a disrespectful comment or nothing like that. These brothers that I love and brothers that love us, that the love is mutual as family, right? My brother said, "Oh, this is the advanced class." You know what I mean? Because over the years, it's what comes when you do something for a long time. We're doing this, we're doing the Sabbath service, and we get very into it, right? So, I want to do stuff that are basic, but I want to do stuff that you will remember, you will retain in your memory, right? So of course, just like I was teaching my sons how to speak from their baby, and the way to get them to speak is to point at things and say what it is. So I try to give you a way of how it thinks. Like I tell my other son, right? When he asked me about how to say things, the words, there's a way I have to explain to him why we say it like this, right? So you see me doing a lot of that. I try to break down the mindset behind the language. The way how we say things. In English, you say teach, but past tense is taught, right? But in Hebrew, I might have ways that are similar and ways that are not similar, and I have to explain that so you can be on the same page of what I'm doing and why I'm saying it, right? Instead of just putting things on the board and having this look like a college lecture where you fall asleep, and that's not what I want, right? But I will put on the board, man, to break down this over here, right? Man, because we are men, we're men, and the sisters are women, so we need to know how to say that, right? The basic words that fill up your hunger, right? You might not even know that you need it, right? Man is ayash. Men that go to war. Men is now okay. The men in plural is anashyam. 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 But now, when you go to the Acts, them translated Acts, them what do you call them again? Something Bible, the Rosetta Stone. The Jewish man is saying the man is Gabar. And when they show you the Gabar, right? They show you some skinny little Jewish white man, right? Gabar is properly warrior, right? But the Jewish man on the Acts is teaching it as that, the word man is Gabar. But that don't help you in the Bible, right? In the Bible, man is Anashyam. Man singular is Ayash. All right? Hope I didn't write this too small. I know we can't adjust the camera, but I still want people to be able to read what I'm writing and write it again, right? Not so much read anything that's in the way. Young. We're raised lively. Kayawa is lively from Kaya, which is life. Right? Anash Young. Also, if you got a name, that you might be given a name and you want to break down your name, we could break down your name, all right? But look into it. I mean, I could even, Hebrew teachers, Hebrew teacher, I can look in the records, right? This is the right place. Friday night class, I have the records. I can look into the records right now at the headquarters. I can look in the files right now. I can tell you the date you received the name, who named it to you. We have that at the headquarters here, right? So if you want maybe your name explained, you can do that. Fake Israelites online, meaning people who are not in the ISPK. people who might be wearing a fake culture. You might have been given a Hebrew name from your group, right? From your group that is not UPK, and you might want to know what those words mean. I can do that for you too. It's okay. You know what I mean? All questions welcome. Your friends, brothers, and others. Jewish men, a Jewish man who was online, you're watching our class, and you are Jewish, and you have a name in Yiddish, right? That is from the Hebrew, right? And you want to know what this word means. Type it in the chat. I will answer it. I will look for it. So, this is the place where we answer questions here. Right? We teach here. All right. Okay. But this is that one place where you can get a kind conversation if you are kind, and if you are rude, you can get a rude conversation, right? Of course, who wants to be rude, right? And the chat, it's a keyboard. Anybody's allowed to write in the chat, right? YouTube does not discriminate against who can write in the chat. You're just not allowed to come to our physical location. Our physical location is from Black, Latinos, and Native Indians only. Right? On the chat, type away all questions. Brothers, sisters, and others. Right? Friends and frenemies. Right? Type away in the chat. Right? Good. Okay. Man, ayas, men, anashiam, woman. Woman, plural. Stop. Woman, singular. Right? Woman. All right? Woman. Right? First was Yash, Aya, Shah. Right? And when you look at the first instance of this word Ayashah, it's from when he said, you're not going to be called. I'm going to get the scripture, so I don't make a mistake. Okay. Wait, the part, no, in Genesis where it says she is taken out of man, so she is now called woman. This portable charger keeps making lights in my pocket. Okay. Let me get woman plural, which would be nashtium, woman. Woman. Woman is nashtium from what I see, right? Nashtium. Men anastium. Woman nashtium. From what I see, right? Let me just have a check on the nashtium, just make sure. And yesterday I'm going to get the script. Okay, that's the scripture right there. All right. Okay. Good. So we're at Genesis 2 and 22. Wayaban. Hold on. Wayaban. Okay. Okay. Wayaban. Yahweh. Alahayim. Hold on, wait. I thought God's name was Ahayim. What is this Yahweh in this Bible here? Alahayim. Means underneath if you see here, underneath the there's no word under there because is not a word. Is to say, apply a verb. So the verb that was mentioned last was the word made. Right? That word made is being applied to the word that is after the So when it says tazalai is read. Is a preposition to say the. Is the. Tazalai is read. Tazalai. The read. Hey, German, how is this tazalai? Tazalai. My read. Most time correct. Okay. Okay, good. Next. Ashtar la quak. That quak is to say take. Right? That la is to say to, and that quak is to say take. All right, that's a good word to know. Quack. Quack. I say, take it from him. Quackwa mawa. Or ma, no. Quackwa mawa. Yeah, take it. Quackwa, take it. Mawa, from him. All right? But man. Right? I'm talking about for the days where, as the General Hammond told us, one day, brothers are going to come together to take from people who don't have brothers. Right? When things get bad enough and, you say all of that gold because it's going up in value and there's no more food out here because, China and the tariffs say they're not shipping nothing to America no more and the eggs are too high. They're $100 a pack. And we got a famine because it ain't raining how long? You know what I mean? And when that day comes, brothers who have brothers will be taken from those who don't have brothers. You know what I mean? Force their riches into our sanctuary. If we don't do that, we will be coming to take from you. You know what I mean? By the orders, not by myself or any man's command. Command Johanna to call that shot. And it is likely, it is very, very likely for those who have spoken ill about the UPK. Watch out. All right, you might be first. You know what I mean? Whoever Command Johanna might say, he might say, the other people forgive them because they've never had a chance to know this. Fake Israelites who had a chance and did not come. You know what I mean? The Lord is looking to punish you. Punish you how? The way how the Lord punished Job. Man, come taking your things. Right? Sabians coming out of the wilderness and just taking everything you got. Sabians or me. You know what I mean? That's a lot. You know what I mean? Whoever commands you how to cause goes and gets it. The same how when a man drops his sword, we go and take his Hebrew Academy cover from him. You know what I mean? Brothers who have brothers take from those who don't have brothers. You left the school and you quit on the truth and you lost your brother. You don't have brothers. So we come and take from those who don't have brothers. Good. And here the word Adam is used for man. That's another one that you see often. Right? We know that Adam is the name of the first man who was man. Not that he was the first man on the earth. Right? But he was first made man. Right? Right? I want to put Adam. Okay? This word also means man in many places. Adam. Right? And Adam is to say from the ground. All right? La Asha. La is two, Asha is woman. He took man from the woman. Keep reading. Wa, ya, wa is and, ya is he. Ba'a is to say, Ba'a is probably say come. Like to come here. But in English is saying as to say he brought her. But he made her come over here. Right? To come out onto Ha Adam, the man. Keep going. For the next verse. Okay. And by the way, when you read it right here is the Israelite marriage. The Hebrew way of how to get married. And there's no wedding involved. There's no wedding involved. Right? Okay, according to the Bible, sex is marriage, as this is in a kind of classy way to explain how our man got married to a woman for the first time within this culture. This is the first instance of our culture and how we got married in this first instance, right? And he said, Waya Amar, and he said, Ha Adam, the man, or now it calls the man Adam. Za'af is to say this, right? Ha pine, which is to say, they say now. Aitazam, a good word too. Aitazam. Aitazam is bone. Bone. Aitazam. 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 They're gonna say flesh. Flesh is bashar. Flesh is Bashar. It should be Bashar here, right? This is usually the word for flesh. Bashar. Bashar. Okay. Ya Qur'an. Ya is he, Qur'an is Paul. Qur'an. If I say, yo, call me, Qur'an. Qur'an. If I say, yo, call him. Qur'awa. Qur'awa. Ha'ak. Qur'awa. Good. Ma'itazamia. So bone of my bone. That's a good phrase. That's a good phrase. Bone of my bone. I don't know nobody be silly. Be like, oh, pause. Don't be dumb. Right? Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. To say we family, right? Don't nobody be silly, all right? Don't be in the world, all right? Do not be in the world. Oh, Paul, hey, come on, be silly, man. Everything is, oh, I got in my car. Pause. Come on, don't be dumb. Okay? Bone of my bones, to say our bones are the same. The African bones, by ratio, are longer and strange. Right? Flesh of my flesh. Let me do flesh of my flesh. Wa bashar, ma basharya. Right? Bone of my bone. Flesh of my flesh. Okay. So we have Itazam. Itazam. You know what I need Itazam? Get some Coca-Cola right quick. Get some Coca-Cola right quick. Want to drink Coca-Cola? Okay. Come on. No sweat. Right? Ma. We went over this earlier with Jeremiah Muhammad's name of the Ma. Ma is to say of. Right? And Itazamia. Itazamia. Itazam ya. Right? The Itazamia, right, is mine. The ya at the end is mine. Right? Bone is Itazam. Okay? Good. Flesh of my flesh. Same thing. Itazam, ma, Itazamia. Bone of my bone. Likewise, flesh. Bashar. Right? Bashar. Ma. Basharya. Come. Bye. Is the ya and the over there again. So here we go. Here you go. Here's a phrase for you to know. Very, very easy and straightforward phrase. Now, the only thing that you might have a struggle with is that in English, we say my before the word. But in Hebrew, we say my after the word. But this is a good phrase to put on your fridge. You know, put this phrase on your fridge, right? And with this, you can get the form. The form is this. We'll get the green one. This is the form. 1, 2, 3. Right? 1, 2, 3. And I'm saying this because in Hebrew, this will all be written in one word. It will be written like this. Ma, I, Tazam, Ya. And you look at it, that's what I'm saying, is, you know, you have to explain the minds of how languages are. When you go to any other country, their language is in a different mindset. If you apply your American mindset to their language, they're going to say, oh, you're not from here. It's the way how people speak when you go to other countries, right? So in the English mindset, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters together. You think this is one word. Not in Hebrew. In Hebrew, there's always a preposition. Not always, but it can be. And you have to always be on the lookout for, and it will come natural as the language comes natural to you. What you'll see is you see which words are prepositions, which words are applicable to be prepositions. And then you'll see what words are applicable to be possessives. Possessives meaning mine, his, hers, theirs. Possessives, right? Which go at the end. Right? So in English, when you would see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters together as a word. In Hebrew, being on the lookout, you always in your mind separate. And I know it might seem complicated to you right now because you are a slave. Just admit it. Admit it like a good hospital. Take in the patience. Okay? And just calm down and just take your time and be patient. Okay? That you'll be on the lookout for a preposition. You'll be on the lookout for a possessive. Why? Because every single word in Hebrew is made up of 2 or 3 letters. There is no Hebrew word that is not based off of something that is 2 or 3 letters. An example, you go to school and they say, I want you give me a hard word to spell. And they'll say, oh, I'm going to give you a 9-letter English word, 9 letters. And you'd be like, oh man, wow, 9 letters. That's a lot of letters in the 2nd grade. Wow, a lot of letters. 9, I wonder what word that could be. And they come and say, not 9, 10 letters. Wow, 10 whole letters. Wow, oh my gosh, it's hard. Oh my God, I'm going to fail. That's what you're thinking in the 2nd grade. And they say, okay, here is the 10-letter word. Actually, I think it's 11. Information. Wow, information. Wow, 10 information. 11 letters, right? 11 letters. Wow, 11 letters. Wow. The word information is from the word inform. Inform is a 6-letter English word. When you see it, you don't panic in the 2nd grade, right? But even though that's not a word you even use in the 2nd grade, but you see the word information when you're that young. It's on every paper, it's on every manual, it's on every thing you get from a manual for the remote, manual for the TV, manual for the kettle, or whatever. Information. No more. Huh? No more. That should be okay with that. Go on. Right? So don't get hung up on the amount of letters you see together. Right? Hebrew is always 2 or 3 letters. Right? It's built around 2 or 3 letters. If you see a preposition and a possessive, and you see 4 Hebrew letters in the middle, between those prepositions and a possessive, that 4 letter is just a tense, and it's either one of 2 things. One to say ing, you have to say past tense ed, and that's it. All right? Don't tell yourself that it's complicated because you're gonna make yourself not want to do it. You have to tell yourself that this is your language, and you just want the instructions on how to claim it. That's it. You know what I mean? It's no different than when we come into the school, and we want instructions on how to be an Israelite, how to take the kingdom. And they say, okay, no problem, just come in all black. You don't even know what's going on when you're doing all black. You don't know that you are fighting something that is not, unnatural. You know what I mean? You've never had to wear a uniform to your New York City school. You wear whatever you want. Now you're gonna apply discipline to yourself. The first way that you show that you love the Lord is with discipline, according to the Most High. The true beginning of the love of the Most High is discipline, according to the wisdom of Solomon, I believe. Good, no problem. Good. The phrase "Aitizam ma aitizamya." Aitizam, bone, ma, off, bone, aitizam, ya, mine, bone of my bone. Aitizam ma aitizamya. Flesh of my flesh. Bashar ma bashar ya. I want to say, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Aitizam ma aitizamya. Bashar ma bashar ya. Aitizam ma aitizamya. Bashar ma bashar ya. Now we talking Hebrew, guys. Now we talking Hebrew. Okay? Good. We got ITB Buffalo. Your questions are going on against stuff. Right? Sister Hamania. Checking in from Westwood, New Jersey. Yeah, Westwood, really? That's not where you're from. But I guess that's where you're checking in from. Right? Big up the Sister Hamania, right? Okay? Good. Oh, we're supposed to check out the instances of women in the Bible. Man. Right? I'm going to look up the instances for women. And also, if you have any questions in the chat, please, your questions are more than welcome. Good questions and the bad questions. The questions that you think we don't like, put them in the chat too, right? Okay. Abraham, he brought back all the goods and also brought again his brother Lot and his goods and the woman also and the people. Genesis 14 and 16. Let me see what it says right here. This is a good example. Okay. So on my let me get the dark screen off. Okay. Genesis 14 and 16. So, and the woman, right? There we go again. This is the top line is the what is in the Tanakh, the Torah. Okay. The second line down here is them defining what the word is, defining the root word of these words. So you see that you see the actual text going on here, and at the bottom you see them isolating the root from any possible interference of tenses. They'll remove the prepositions and the possessors at the bottom, so you can have an idea of what's going on at the top, just in case, right? I know the computer and the camera is bugging. Bear with me, right? Ha anashium, plural, and they go break down what is the root of ha anashium. Ashar, singular. Ashar, singular. All right. Ha anashium, plural. Ashar, singular. Okay. Good. Oh, this is another good example too, because over here we also got the words the people. The people, right? Ha is the, I'm is people. It's not I'm young. There's no I'm young. It's just I'm to say people. I'm is to say people. Because a person is a man. A person is a woman. Okay. I want the part where he says she's not named Ayesha to say she's a woman. I believe I had it before in Genesis, what, 22 or 23? I don't know if we got it already.
She shall be called.
Yeah, the one that says she shall be called. There we go. She shall be called Asha. Okay, it doesn't say Ayesha. I don't know where I got Ayesha from. I've seen Ayesha somewhere. I can't remember where I see it from. Let me look in the concordance to make sure that I can know what it is.
Ayesha.
Yeah, Ayesha was a word for woman in some part in there. And it was to say taken out of man. Right? And you got turned to Ayesha. Right? It looks similar to Ayesha. Say again?
Says my Ayesha.
No, I'm talking about the word for woman. I see that there. Ma Ayash is good. Also, Ma is from or of, and Ayash is man. Right? So what it's saying is the word woman, even the word woman is related to the word Ayash. Okay. Okay, so for the sake of what we see in the text, I'm going to read Ayasha and I'm going to put it as it said. Asha. All right? Asha. Asha. Okay? Asha. Asha is woman. Man is Ayash. Woman is Asha. Men is Anashtiam. Woman. Men plural. This is plural, right? Make sure I put plural on the board so you don't get confused. I was about left it to 5 minutes. Right. Plural. About 10 minutes. But I think we covered enough. I don't think anybody's gonna retain or remember anything else that we go from here forward unless someone got a question. If no one got a question, I'm about to cut it around right here. Just so nobody don't lose what we learned here. Okay. I'm gonna erase some of the harder things off the board so nobody gets confused. All right. We got this down here already. Okay. Okay. I like to force these other words in there, and when I force these other words in there, nobody remembers them. Nobody remembers nothing. All right, so I don't want to force no words in your throat, force vocabulary on you, for no fruit at all to be gained from it. So I want to just leave things on the board with you that you should be able to retain. A certain amount of things you're able to just remember it better. So we got the phrase bone, right? Aitazam, flesh, bashar. Bone of my bone, aitazam, ma aitazamia. Flesh of my flesh, bashar, ma basharia. Okay? Man, ayash. Men, anashia. Woman, asha. Woman, nashia. All right? Okay. I want to take the concordance for the word. I believe I saw it around the same scriptures over here, but I don't see it here right now. Yeah. Abagada. How was kataya? Kataya. Aya. Aya. There you go. Aya. By the way, aya. Aya means where. Aya. Where is he? Where he? We don't really put on the is. We say where he. Ayawa. That's a phrase too. Ayawa. Where he? Uh, where's she? Right? Or where is she? Ayaha. Right? Where are they? Ayaham. Right? Where are we? Ayanawa. Aya. Sure. There you go. Ayash. 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 A man or individual or male person. Ayash. Okay. Ayasha is not in the concordance here. I might not be looking right. Let me look at Asha. I don't know what's going on. I've seen that. I've seen that a long time ago. Ayasha is not in the. Am I bugging? Ayashwan. Ayash Kayal. Ayash Kayal, man of might. 2 Samuel 2:23 and 20. Ayash Kayal. Ayash Kayal. Where's Asha? Well, so what happens is in certain words in the concordance, they'll group them together under the base word, all right? They could have Asha as the word and then they could have check it, right? Asha, Abagada. Here we go. Asha. Okay. Asha also means a feminine way of saying fire. Okay, here we go. Asha. Feminine of 376, which is Ayash, irregular plural. Okay, here's an example. So let me show you this book right here. Oh man, the camera, right? Man, is this a good idea? Okay, let me see right here. There we go. Close. And then I touch the camera back up with my hand and it's all over. Okay, so this right here is Ayash. Even in the text, it's not saying woman, but this is the word for woman based on 376 being the word to say man. Right? Now, what I'm reading here is alphabetical order, right? So everything in this page, it begins with a but they grouped underneath it Nashiam, right? They grouped right underneath it Nashiam with no number to say that this is from this. They've grouped it together for your learning, right? And under here, it's going to say, woman, even though Nashim is used to say woman plural, not woman singular that I got here. You know what I mean? That's why I always say, even things in the dictionary, you got to bring it to class because, this is you're reading things from a person called Strong's, you know what I mean, or Nelson's, or Blue Letter, or Lexicon, trying to understand a language that is not theirs. It is ours. You know what I mean? And our tongue, we made naturally, spoke naturally. For them, figuring out something someone else did. You ever tried that before? You ever tried to wonder about what someone else is thinking? And they come and tell you, no, it's not like that. Or no, I wasn't thinking that. You know what I mean? Yeah, that is what they're doing to the language. They're trying to figure out something that someone else thought and said. right? Hence to why people don't understand the Bible outside the EPK, right? Good, no problem, right? Good. So that was Nashim, the plural of Anash of Asha, right? Asha is woman, okay, and the plural is Nashim, right? Good. And with that, is there any more questions online? And with that, about the class, I want to greet everybody out, right? To my brothers, Yahweh Bashim Yoshai Bragatham, and to my sisters, Yahweh Shamalathan Bashim Yoshai. By the way, for the sisters, yeah, if it's more than one brothers, we're in the salute, you don't say Athar. Athar is talking to one man. You have to say Atham. Atham is to men. Athan is two sisters. All right, plural. Yes, all right. So when the sisters greet, they're saying Yahweh Shamar Alatham. With we gotta say that ma on Atham. Atham to say y'all. Y'all, remember this is a nigga's language. We got y'all in our language. Y'all. Atham is to the men. Athar is to one man. If you're saluting at the end of a class and you say Yahweh Shamar Alathar, you're saying the salute incorrectly. Right? Yahweh Shamar Alatham Bashim Yahweh, when the sisters will talk to the men. Likewise, brothers, you see more than one sister over there. If you see one sister over there, you better say Athar. Yahweh Shamar Alathar Bashim Yahweh. Get your tense correct. It's your language. Own it. Take the kingdom, man. Take the kingdom. Take your language back. Right? Care about it. Have some care for the thing, right? You see more than one sister for the brothers, to the sisters. You don't say Athar to more than one sister. You don't say Atham, because these ain't men. You're saying Athan with an N. N for number, N for nigger, N for necromancer. I don't know, right? N for ninja, right? Athan. So the brothers are saying to the sisters, Yahweh Shamar Alathan. Yahweh Shamar Al Athan. Bashim Yahshai. Right? Good. Right? To the sisters that greet you out, Yahweh Shamar Alathan. Yahweh Shamar Alathan. Yahweh Shamar Alathan. Bashim Yahshai. Shalom.